Hello, mate. You all right?
I am. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks, mate. Yes, I'm all right. Looking a bit. Look, I say that looking a bit rough today. It's just how it is. Anyway, so welcome back. Hello, everyone. I hope you're very well wherever this is. It's me and that Tim fella who's over there. Hopefully, he's over there, which is weird. And today I want to talk. Well, I'm going to take you back 24 hours. I wrote an article about a year or so ago, and in it I was talking about the importance of going to look for people that were doing well. And this isn't the looking for the Bransons, etc., etc. Yes, you can do loads of stuff. Yes, it's useful to keep an eye on, but there are loads of people, kind of close to you in your network around you that are doing really, really well. So I kind of thought today, Tim and I are men about town. Is that what we are? I don't know, but we know a few people. And so I thought it would be a really useful thing to kind of, name drop or whatever it is, and just talk about some of the people we know, what they've done, why they've done it, why they've kind of done so well. So you guys can then go and look at them, follow them, and just kind of see it, because, everything that they've doing, you can do too, in a slightly different format or whatever it is. But I just think it's really, really important to go and look, see what other people are doing, particularly at the moment, see what other people are doing that's making them some money, and then don't try and emulate it, but think, what's the concept of what they're doing? How can I do it too? Yeah. So Tim, chuck a name at us. Who are you thinking of?
I mean, we're lucky to know some smart people, right? Which by default makes us look a little smarter. So let's start with a classic, shall we? And Mr. Ross Davies from Strafe Creative. So I've had the fortune to refer Ross some work for client work, some website design work, and his processes in there, the quality of the website, the kind of in-depth and detail they go into before anything actually happens, right? Before any design or pictures are made or design layout is amazing. I remember he supplied a thing called a playbook, right? So I've unashamedly borrowed the playbook idea for many clients from Ross, of going, do you know what? He's answered all the objections to what he offers in this playbook, and he's really clearly outlined how they like to work, and this is what happens. So there's no quibbles in amount of design when content needs to be ready, right? That playbook is my highlight of Ross Davies' cleverness and Stray's cleverness, right? Because it does that classic thing of answering all the objections, exactly laying out what's going to happen so there's less friction when it comes to it. And if it's not for that person, they can go away and not cause any issues in the onboarding process. It's just a very smart tool bit of kit. And I think anybody who sells products or services can use the playbook idea.
Yeah, I'm in the same position. Again, I've known Ross for a long time. He is, I know lots of good guys in the industry, and that's why I feel bad about doing these kind of things. There's loads of other stuff, but, for me, it's Ross and the whole guys at Strafe. It is their level of thought into each and everything, not just the kind of, well, if we make the journey better, yes, of course, that's great for the customer, but actually it's way better for us as well, because we'll get all the information we need when we do it, so they can actually provide a better service through providing a better service, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it is, it's their level of thought and their level of detail, and and the fact that their thought process on what the website is there to do is again, it's above lots and lots of other, probably almost everybody else in the industry. And I think we've chatted to Ross a lot of time, and I think he would more consider themselves kind of web conversion specialists than just web designers, because they understand that the point of having a website is not just to be seen; it's got to take people through. And I think I've known Ross, I don't know, 10 years maybe. Let's just say, I don't really know. Probably ought to know this, but the web development industry has changed so much over that time, and I always feel he's just been ahead of the game. Yeah. And I think anyone can do this. It's not belittling. Ross has put so much time into it, but what he's done that other people haven't done is thought about it. Every single step of the business, he's thought about it. And I think that's the big takeaway here for me. Kind of just lovely bloke anyway, but that level of thought across every part of the business which then makes every part of the business better, which then makes more people want to work with it, so they can serve people better. And it's done really well.
It is good. It is done, and they do make epic websites. I still use one in training and with clients, an example of really good converting websites, which is Nationwide Courier's website that Ross did. Is still a go-to example for me. But I think one of the words that links him to another person we know is professionalism, right? And they are really professional. Ross is really professional. It's such a very, very smooth job. But where professionalism comes is I spoke to another person that we know, Julie, and that's Fiona Duncan-Steer.
Yes.
Last night for the podcast. And one of the things that she was talking about is professionalism, right? And as she works in the events industry, if you're not in Nottingham and don't know RSVIP, then she RSVIP and Fiona are a bit of local legends, right? I don't know many people who haven't been or know somebody who has.
Fiona knows everyone, literally everyone.
But we had a really good conversation last night. She's so smart and such a amazing entrepreneur. She's built something amazing for 15 years. And one of the things that she dropped was, it's about being professional, like doing it professionally. Do you know what I mean? Because the RSVIPs are good dues, right? There's free booze. Do you know what I mean? It's easy to be unprofessional when there's free booze. I'm looking mainly at my own picture.
I don't know what you mean, mate. Yeah. I mean, Fiona she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think what Fiona's done, and again, I know I'm often rude about looking kind of things, but Fiona has created a place where people want to be. They enjoy it. They look forward to it. It is kind of that first thing in the diary. And I think what amazes me and what kind of confuses me slightly about this is that, Fiona has created something that all of the big guys, the BNIs, 4Ns, all those guys, they would kill to do, but can't do. If every month Fiona is getting 100, 120 people in a room, and I don't know, good people, no, good people, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good room. It's a room where, from a business owner, you want to be in there. She's created this. I don't know any other networking groups, the 4Ns, those that have got, so much more budget, I guess, kind of so much more infrastructure, but they've not managed to achieve it. And again, I don't want to be rude to them, because that's not what this is about. But, you look at what Fiona has done there, created in a really, really kind of busy industry that has got just 1,000 other places to be. She's created a brilliant kind of experience. And I think that's what it is. It's because people enjoy, and I'm not saying people don't enjoy it. I mean, it wasn't necessarily my sort of thing when I get there and blah, 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 but, she's created a thing that people want to be part of. Yeah. And I think, you can look at, that's all you need to know about Fiona, but that translates to any other business. I mean, I've just, after you mentioned it to me, I've just bought myself a painter jacket, because I wanted to be part of that thing. And I think you go and look at these industries, I want to be part of that. And again, go back a step, that will probably look at the stray stuff too. People like what they do. As soon as they hear about it, well, I'd like my website done in that way.
Yeah. It's it's creating that thing that, I think it's a Simon Sinek quote, right? That great brands, great businesses give you something to buy into, not just buy from. Right. You buy into a thing, not just buy from it. And Strafe, painter jackets, Fiona, RSVIP has definitely done that. I think there's so many examples of from all of them that you can, like, if you're sitting there and going, but I don't run a web design agency, but I don't run a event company, it doesn't matter, right? These are tangible cross-functional business lessons that we can all learn from, and should, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think anybody who is looking to try and do exactly the same thing, what's possible, that's not what we're talking about. You look at the concept of this stuff, think, how can I do that too? And again, I remember not so long ago, you and I did a piece about Amazon and the wish list, and the abuse we got was brilliant because, we haven't got millions of pounds, blah, blah, blah. That's not what it is. You look at the fact and say, look, when someone's ready to buy, can you offer them something else? because we know scientifically people will, and that's the same with kind of Fiona. It's the same with Ross. It is, and I guess it's why we're having these conversations. It's so important to spend some time looking at. If I ran a networking group, I would look at what RSVIP do and think, what's actually happening there? How does that translate to my business? Same with Ross. Same with all these guys. I think that's why it's such an important thing to do. But I think most business owners they don't do it, and if they do look, they are only looking at kind of the big famous folk rather than the kind of the people that are doing it on the streets kind of around you.
Yeah, that's it. Talking of that, who's the last one for this mini video that you want to shout out? Anyone come to mind?
I don't know. So
Pick
many.
one.
So we should talk about kind of Vicky Taylor. Sometimes we should talk about Vicky. We should talk about Bertie. But I think probably I'm going to go with Jonny Prest at Seed.
Good shout, Jonny Prest.
And again, Johnny is everybody is a million times smarter than me, but Johnny is just one of the smartest guys I know. And it's two things, Johnny. His absolute passion for creating kind of branding, I don't know what to say, branding noise, branding consistency, this whole piece about everything and it took me ages to get it, but everything in a business starts from a brand. And that's not, and again, this is, go and look at Johnny's stuff. Don't look like, this is not about logo and that sort of stuff. It's about that integral kernel that your business comes from. Get that right, and everything else, what you do, how you say it, how it looks, how it feels, everything kind of comes from there. And Johnny is just his ability to get to that kernel and kind of see it, explain it, put it out there, create the stuff from it, help you, create just a kind of a super, super smart guy. And I think, probably extra relevant at the moment because loads of businesses in trouble and loads of noise out there. And if you aren't going to create good, useful, helpful, direct noise, you're just going to disappear because everyone is screaming into the breeze at the moment.
Yeah.
You've got to have that central kind of integral starting clarity point from which it all comes. And just a lovely guy to spend any time with, kind of listening to or kind of chatting to. Top bloke.
Yeah, he's good. I will echo all of that words that Paul Chapman just did, and add in, if you look for Brand Master Flash, we will put it, tag him in the comment on any social media. He does the greatest videos, either very nicely staged in his home or mid-run, which is great. But they're really, really good. I have been lucky enough to know Johnny for a while, and I've been in some of his brand strategy workshops, and I learn everything every time I talk to him. So he is a great shout. So we've got, who we shouted out today? Ross Davies.
Yes,
Fiona Duncan-Steer, and Jonny Prest.
Yeah, Jonny Prest. And with all of these guys, it's not just what they do, it's how they do it. And that's the key bit we've got to look for.
That's the key bit. All right.
Brilliant.
Until next time then.
See you next time.